News Radio 840 WHAS. Good Sunday morning. Bob Sokoler and the Louisville Real Estate Show here with you until the top of the hour. We got a great show with lots of questions from you. With us for this show, we've got Randy Rocky, who's over at Swan Financial. They do a great job getting you pre-approved and to the closing table. You can reach Randy at 645-0736. Also here, Chuck Crosby, the owner of the Crosby Law Offices. Randy and his team will hand it off to Chuck and his team, and then we'll get you closed. But in addition to getting you closed, you'll also learn. You'll learn about food, about life, and remember to ask Chuck, what is the meaning of life whenever you have a closing at Chuck's location, because he has a great answer.
You know, I've had people ask me that. They've actually said, Bob said to ask.
Can I ask right now, or are we not allowed to do this?
No, we can't. We don't have time.
No. Okay.
No, you're going to have a closing with Chuck to know what his answer is to what is.
Well, we have those.
We do. All right. Coming up a little later in the show, 10 things that are ruining your home's plumbing, even as we speak. You'll be interested in that. First, let's get to the questions. Oh, and I'm Bob Sokoler. I own the Sokoler team at RE/MAX Properties East. We've got 11 plus agents. I am always ready to help you get your home listed on the market and sold, and our agents will help you find a house. And if you're thinking of selling this year or next year or beyond, feel free to reach out. Call me. We can talk by phone, Zoom, or in person. And you can reach me at 376-5483. That's 376-5483. All right. We start with Randy. Katrina has heard in the news the government is reducing FHA insurance.
Yeah.
She's wondering, so what does that all mean, she says, to her as an FHA buyer?
Yeah. So on a basically a $2,000 payment, you're looking at a reduction of about $50 a month. So it's a lot of money. We're going from 0.85 to 0.55. And what is interesting about this is conforming is doing a lot of loan level price adjustments, LLPA. They're coming out that in about a month or two. And what is really interesting is you're going to, even with the upfront fee, there's an upfront fee on FHA of 1.75% of the loan amount. You're going to see some borrowers, even with high credit scores in certain situations, do FHA loans going forward.
Wow. That's a lot. That says a lot. Yeah.
It's just the rate is so much different. Today, I did it on a cash out refinance. It was a 1.5 point difference between on a 740 credit score between an FHA and a conventional. So it makes total sense to go with FHA.
Very encouraging. We'll give you Randy's number in a little bit. And may I say, your audio is spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
He's got this new headset that Brad Lawler from Home Team recommended, and it's right on, buddy. Right on. All right, Chuck, Tony has somewhat of a serious problem. He's writing us. He just moved into a house, and the neighbor's dog bit him. It broke the skin, but the neighbor can't find any papers on the dog that shows he's been vaccinated against rabies. Now, again, you're not a dog enforcement officer, but I suspect in some prior life you probably were involved in something. He's wondering what are his options. Yeah, I'm sure Chuck has done everything. So what are his options?
Well, the quick question is there damage? And that is something that is generally considered reportable. If a dog bites you and breaks your skin, you could come down on them. Certainly in a civil process for any damages you've had, any doctor's bills, anything like that. And then also through the state via the animal control people. I hate saying that kind of thing, but if there's a dog with no registration, no shots, and is now known to be aggressive, that can be a real problem.
Especially if kids are in the neighborhood, right? That's
the owners of the property also might want to keep in mind that they stand to have a lot of liability if this aggressive dog is let to run around. And again, I hate saying that. I love dogs, but that kind of thing has to be stopped.
Yeah. Yep. Tony, again, we'll give out Chuck's phone number a little bit if you want to discuss this further with him. Back over to Randy. Irv is writing in. He apparently signed for a home loan for a family member, and that family member was going to pay all the costs. But he's now wondering if he should have done more than just sign the home loan. He's wondering if he has any rights to the actual home and asks who actually owns the home. suggestions on this? So he was
Well,
basically
and I know Chuck is going to obviously chime
Chuck
in
will get in
too,
this
but
too. Yeah.
but I feel like if you're going to be on the home loan, you should be on the title as well.
Yep. You better believe it.
And if he's not on the title, then man, that's a tough spot to be in.
And it's too late now, right? Because everything's done. He could, if the
Yes.
family member wants to, Chuck, he can quit claim deed.
Yeah. Whenever we see that scenario, most of the time the lender will say, "Hey, whoever's on the loan has to be on the deed." So usually it's taken out of our hands.
Okay.
But if I see that case come up, we have a conversation. If you aren't on the deed, but you have co-signed or have signed on the loan, you owe 100% of the proceeds and own zero of the land.
Yeah.
Right.
And you cannot make them give you the land.
Yeah.
They can't make you can't make them put you on the deed. However, if everybody's willing, and why wouldn't they be? If you were nice enough to help them out with the loan, then yeah, it's just a matter of a quitclaim deed. Takes about 20 minutes to make and 5 seconds to execute.
Well, and as you well know, Chuck, and I agree with you on the lender side, but if they don't do that,
I know.
Well, on the front end, it's a whole lot easier.
Yes, it is.
They're wanting to get in the house. They're going to make sure you're on title as well. But it's a lot. It's a lot more of a struggle on the backside.
In the last 30 some odd years I've been doing this, I've seen it happen where they didn't go on the property,
right?
And maybe it's a fiance or a boyfriend or something like that. The relationship goes south, but you're still stuck on that loan.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So always, if you're going to co-sign a loan, you go on the property. But that's there are actually a variety of cultures represented in our community where they prefer not to go on the title.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're just helping out. Wow. So anyhow, that's a story for another day.
You learn something new every day. So here's something: if you are like me and you like to look at reviews of things like on Amazon before you buy, I'm going to suggest you head over to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com, and you'll see the reviews on our team and me, and see how we treat our clients and how we help. And that'll give you an idea, because no matter who you use to sell or buy a home with, you should always check references, and by that, looking at reviews. So you check no matter who. But if you want to see we've made it easy, just go LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com, or you could also hear and see the reviews by going to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. All right. So again, coming up in just a bit, we're going to 10 things that are ruining your plumbing. Back over to let's go over to Chuck. Anthony owns a home, is concerned about a problem with a neighbor. We've hit a chord on these neighbor things. By the way, send me an email to get your questions on bob@WeSellLouisville.com. In the subject line, the radio question, and then in the body of the email, let me have the question itself, which is what Anthony did. Apparently, the neighbor hired a surveyor to survey the neighbors and his home and the property, but the surveyor came over on Tony's land. Apparently, he wasn't supposed to. Tony asked him to get off the land, and apparently the surveyor was not happy and said a couple of not so nice things. And Tony's wondering, what is if the surveyor is actually trespassing, and does he have any legal action against the survey company? So apparently the surveyor was to survey the neighbor's land, but came over on his land. Thoughts on this, Chuck?
First couple thoughts are, well, yeah, if he comes onto your property, he is trespassing, and you can tell him to get off. If he doesn't get off, well, then that might become a criminal issue. Call the cops, have him escorted off. Usually that doesn't happen. And then, you tell him to get off the land, he gets off the land. Okay, no harm, no foul. Not a whole lot you can do about that. If you tell them to get off the land and they get off the land, well, you got what you wanted, right? If he's damaging the property while he's there, then maybe there's, some kind of, if he's driving a big truck onto wet grass and, breaking something, I don't know. But typically, if you were to walk onto somebody's lawn and they said, "Bob, get off my lawn," they can't, if you get off the lawn, there's really nothing they can do to you. Now, if he's going on the property and he's responding and retorting in a rude manner, first thing that comes to my mind is that I have pretty much read through the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and I have not seen one that outlaws being a jerk. It's not illegal to be a jerk. But there may be some ethical issues with the Board of Surveyors. I don't know. There's that.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm just throwing stuff out there because I really don't see this as a real issue. He got on, you told him to get off. He throws a few not nice words. Welcome to Kentucky on a Saturday afternoon. But,
well, wait, couldn't you take out your camera, shoot some video, and then post it and show this surveyor, this is the type of this, you don't use this guy because here's why. I think social media makes a lot of sense these days. You're not into it.
I'm not into that. No, I'm thinking you just let it run off your back. Otherwise, it's pretty petty. But if he is on the property and he is doing something that damages it, well, you do have a cause on that. But other than that,
okay. So let me redirect a little more serious side of this thing. Is it true that if somebody enters your home, and you don't either know them or they're entering illegally, are you allowed to use a weapon? Is that allowed?
Now you're getting into an area where there's a certain amount of liability. If somebody walks into your house and you pull out a gun and shoot them, you probably have some liability there. You have to, among many other things, you have to be in imminent fear of danger or serious bodily injury.
Okay.
If they break in your home, it's a different story. Is that correct?
Well, but breaking in, you
define it. You got to define it. Yeah,
define that.
Yeah.
Whoops, I opened the wrong door.
Oh,
I thought this was my house.
Yeah, I mean, all the houses in my neighborhood look pretty similar. You come home, you're a little toasted, and you walk in the wrong house. I don't know that that's a death sentence.
Well, and I sincerely know somebody who they didn't know the neighbor and they were drunk and they walked in their home and literally slept on the couch that night and they woke. They didn't know that a very prominent neighborhood. I mean, they just made a bad decision.
There are so many permutations on this issue, and there's what the person who's breaking and entering says, and that sort of thing. But everything's going to be governed by what a reasonable person would think. Okay,
and then there's the real estate agent who was showing a property. I heard this. You heard this, right? And walks in and showing the house, and then this person comes out of the shower as they're showing the house. Kid you not, this you can't make this up.
Wow,
you can, but it's not.
It's it's so I'm qualifying this completely. I am not giving a complete answer or advice on when it's lawful to use deadly force, especially in your house, because there are so many permutations. But I will tell you that I was involved in one scenario where a fellow did just that. He was probably attempting to rob the house, but he went in, he used the bathroom, washed his hands, comes out of the bathroom, and one of the members of the household has walked in since he's been in there and tells him to get out. Well, he left. He didn't take anything. He didn't, try and intimidate, just left. Of course, arrested and all that. His public defender was trying to make a big deal about hey, you told him to leave and he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay. So, I got you.
Yeah. So there's that.
We're running late. Then there's that. We're taking a break. When we come back, 10 things that are ruining your home's plumbing. With us continuing, Chuck Crosby, the owner of the Crosby Law Offices. They do a great job at closing. Chuck's a great guy. And remember to ask him about the meaning of life. Also, Randy Rocky, Swan Financial. They do a great job getting you pre-qualified. They actually do the work to get you ready to close, which you can't say for everybody. We experienced that. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, anytime. Oh, by the way, Randy's number, 645-0736. Chuck's number, 499-6360. And if you're thinking about selling your home, give me a call. Love to be able to help you. You can reach me anytime on my cell phone, 376-5483. Again, that's Bob Sokoler, Remax Properties East, 376-5483. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. News Radio 840 WHAS, Bob Sokoler and the Louisville Real Estate Show here with you until the top of the hour. Thank you, Barbara Corcoran. Just saw her last week. She's looking great. I took her for a drive in a car. I'll explain more about that. Greg and I both were in the car driving her, but you'll see that coming up in commercials and the video we're working on. So with us, continuing, Chuck Crosby, the owner of the Crosby Law Offices. You can reach Chuck to get your loan closed, and you can pick the closing attorney that you want. 499-6360. Also, here, Randy Rocky, who's co-owner of Swan Financial. They do a great job getting you pre-approved and to the closing table. And you can reach Randy and his group at 645-0736. And if you're thinking of selling your home, I would love to be able to help you. All you need to do is give me a call. We can talk. I can come out there. I can call you on Zoom, free, no obligation time, just to set an idea of the what's going on in the industry. And then if you decide you want to use us, that's great. We can move it forward. All right. So, and you can reach me at 376-5483. 10 things ruining your home's plumbing. You may not believe this. I use, and maybe you do too, liquid drain cleaners. Have you used that, Chuck? Randy?
No.
Oh, you know better.
No.
Okay. Well, if you get a clogged drain, avoid the temptation of that quick promised liquid drain cleaner. The products are marginally effective at best, but they can cause cracks in your pipes and react with existing corrosion. Flushing foreign objects in your toilet is a problem. Using it as a garbage can, it can cause clogs, obstructions. I think that one's pretty standard. You can, if you think you can handle a big plumbing job, I actually tried to do this with the sink. Not so good. Get it professional. You have a professional come in. Yes, they can be expensive, but the DIYer like myself could cause more problems than they're worth. Do not pour grease down the drain, no matter what. After cooking a sizzling pan of bacon or whatever, the worst thing you could do is to pour it down your drain. It'll clog the pipes, and then you got a real problem. Now this one scares me because I'm raised my hand. I'm doing this. Chuck, Randy, do you use the drop-in toilet fresheners that go in the tank, like the blue thing that goes in your toilet tank? No. Oh, good.
I do.
No.
Okay, so Randy, I do too. The drop-in toilet fresheners are a mess-free and easy way to clean your toilet, and they can also cause a lot of damage to the parts inside your tank. When
the rubber gaskets and whatnot?
Yeah, the chlorine inside the tablet dissolves. It can cause corrosion to the gaskets and washers. Good, Chuck. So it's best to stick to scrubbing with a good old-fashioned toilet bowl cleaner, which really annoys me because I got a whole box of these things I want to. Okay. If you don't replace hoses on washing machines and dishwashers, that can be a real problem. Yeah, get the braided ones with a metal braid that'll help extend longevity. Putting potato skins down the garbage disposal, and they may make it easier, but don't ever think about washing them down the garbage disposal because they can create a thick, starchy mess that will seriously clog your pipes. And then when it freezes, failure to take freeze precautions like let the water drip to an outside line, that could be a problem. Leaving hoses connected in the winter, if you haven't done it by now, you could have already lost your hose and you could have lost the pipes that lead to it. And not replacing your water heater because, believe it or not, the average lifespan, according to this report, 8 to 12 years, while tankless models last up to 20 years. So keep an eye on that. You may want to do drainage. We talked about it on previous show, but Brad Lawler, our home team, says if you don't do it when it's new, it's not going to help you. So keep an eye on your water heater. All right. Back to the questions we go. Gary writing in, Chuck, he's planning to sell this spring. He saw a Groupon discount for, an HVAC and duct cleaning company. And so he's wondering, are these legit? Should he actually use Groupon? And are there any guarantees that they do the job? And if not, is there legal action that he could take against them? I guess he's leery of some of the Groupon ads. Thoughts?
Well, I'm guessing that there's some scammer out there that has tried to, use something making you think you're using a Groupon.
Yeah.
Simple answer is if there's a Groupon for a particular, HVAC cleaner, call up the HVAC cleaner and say, hey, is this Groupon for real?
And also, what are your qualifications? I think he's more concerned that it's some sort of fly-by-night organization, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be any case. If it's Jim Bob's House of HVAC Cleaning, you might want to rethink whether a Groupon is going to really save you any money.
I bought into the belts. They have these belts for like $3 each, right? So I'm going, how bad could a $3, but then they charge you like 10 or 20 bucks for shipping. That's where they get you on that. So that'll be the last time I'm doing that. Randy, Carly will be applying for a mortgage this year for the first time. She doesn't have any credit cards. She has no auto loans or financing of any sort for any type of credit. She's wondering what should she do now to prepare for a home loan eventually. Her parents are telling her she needs to open at least one credit card and pay it off so that she has some sort of credit. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So we did this with our kids, and it's worked very well. So if she can't get a credit card because she doesn't have credit, do a prepaid Visa, and usually they'll let you put $300 on it. And when you get to $100, pay it off. You never want to go over 1/3 of the balance. Then do your second credit card, your third credit card. But if let's say that they have your maximum credit limit at $500, you don't want to go over $166, and then you pay it off. So never go over 1/3 of the credit limit, and get 3 credit cards, and you'll have a credit score. You should have a really nice credit score within 4 to 6 months.
So repeating here, so 3 credit cards is what a mortgage company is going to look for, or 3 lines of credit?
Well, I should recommend 3 credit cards.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I think that's a maximum efficiency on getting the best credit score rating.
Got it. Sounds good. So, Chuck, Richard has a problem with a new home he purchased a year and a half ago. He did not have a home inspection and did have an ongoing leaking issue. And so apparently Richard reported this to the builder, but the builder never responded to it. Now, 1 year past the end of the warranty, Richard is wondering, what can we do? Because we're kind of out of warranty, he says, and I haven't had any repairs by the builder. Thoughts?
Okay. He tried to get repairs by the builder, right?
He says he notified the builder. So let's go from A to Z.
Well, let's assume that he did try.
Yeah.
If he tried and the builder ducked, well, of course he has all sorts of recourse. The question is the builder still in business? Does the builder have something to go against? That kind of thing. But that's typical lawsuit stuff. Obviously, blood and turnips and all that. But if he had attempted to do it and the builder was balking and preventing it, it's not a magic drop dead date. He's at fault. He has dirty hands. He can't claim, oh wait, the time has passed. Now, if your guy didn't do anything, if he just let it ride, well, that makes it a lot more difficult. Let's just say that.
So let's back it up. So for anybody who's bought a home and there's a problem, what type of contact needs to occur? Is it a certified letter? Is it an email? What should the people do to make sure that they're on record having made this contact?
What I do when I have to give notice and I have to show proof is I will use a certified letter. I will take a Xerox of the envelope, all the the little taggy things they have on there, along with a copy of the letter, and I will put it in there and send it out. That has always worked for me. Things other people I've seen do is everybody's got a video camera in their pocket these days. Walk it on up to them and hand it to them.
So
there's always that.
You're documenting that they've received it.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's problems with that kind of thing. How do we know that, it's like with any picture evidence. You have to be able to lay a proper foundation and show that, yes, this was that. So, take pictures, take friends. The more the merrier.
So you got a witness that this is what you did. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with any picture, I'm sure you've seen the stories where you're looking at this beautiful landscape and then you look behind you and you see that it's a town dump. Pictures are inherently difficult to use as evidence, but that's why I suggest the certified mail and that sort of thing.
But your point is, take a picture of the letter, take a picture of the envelope addressed to with the certification on it, right?
Little green strippy thing.
So that you have it. And then the next thing is put it somewhere or print it and put it somewhere, do something so you've got access to it. So if it does come to a push comes to shove, right? Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've never had to pull out the pictures of that. Usually having the tracking numbers and the receipt that the post office gives you is sufficient.
Well, you bring up a good point. Save that receipt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have a tendency to just put receipts away or throw them out.
No, not with a certified letter.
All right, final question. Randy, John wrote in saying we are closing in a few weeks on the purchase of our retirement home. We're both 80, but arranging a mortgage so we don't tie up all the cash in our home. He says so we're getting the mortgage through the builder's lender because of a $2,500 incentive towards the closing cost. This is a common practice, by the way, folks, with builders who are working with banks. He says, but we must pay 1/8% extra in the mortgage interest because we do not want an escrow account for the property taxes and insurance. So he wants to pay it every year out of his own pocket. And when questioned about the extra cost, the lender said it is legal and everyone does it. And he's wondering, is that true?
No, it's not. And most situations with these builders, people were paying a much higher interest rate. And in that situation, no, we have underwriters that will do that and not charge anything for escrow waiving.
So the thing to take out of this question, folks, is if you are being offered a deal for whatever it is, this reduction of your principal, whatever it might be, shop it. Go to a place like Swan and say, okay, here's the deal we're being offered. Can you equal or can you beat it? Which is really correct. The key thing, right? Because sometimes these others working with builders, you're locked in, where mortgage companies may be a little more flexible, like Swan, that might be able to help and beat it and save you some money, right?
That's right.
All right.
Yes.
We are out of time. My thanks to Chuck Crosby. He owns the Crosby Law Offices. You can reach Chuck at 499-6360. Does a great job at closings. He's also entertaining, and he does know the meaning of life. If you decide to close with him, just ask him. He'll tell you. And then Randy Rocky, he is the co-owner of Swan Financial. They do a great job. They're expanding. That's how popular they are. And you can reach Randy Rocky and anybody over there at 645-0736. And finally, if you are thinking of selling your home this year or even in the future, and you want to kind of find out what's going on in the real estate industry and with home sales, I am here for you 24/7. Just pick up a phone, call me. We can talk by phone, by Zoom, or in person. I'd love to come out, talk with you. There's no fee. There's no obligation. I give you my time because I love what I do and I want to help. And then if you decide to sell and you'd like to use us, we'd love to help you there too. You can reach me on my cell phone, 376-5483. That's 376-5483. And don't necessarily believe the media that it is slow for home sales. It's a lot faster than you might think. Call me and you will find out why. And if you want to see a rebroadcast of the show, go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. That'll be a redirect to our YouTube channel and you can watch the show in its entirety. We're out of time. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next Sunday on News Radio 840 WHAS.